Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm taking a part of an Instagram hop. Now, yeah, we're on YouTube, but the final card is going to be on Instagram later today at 4 p.m. Eastern as part of the Fandom Friday hop. This hop is all about different types of fandoms, and we get to let our nerdy freak flag fly. And it is very hard to say that. So this month is all about romance. It's February, so Valentine's Day just happened. And we are going to be hopping about fandoms with a great love story. So that brought me immediately to Twilight. Twilight is what got me started in blogging, and so it holds a special place in my heart, not just because I love the series, but also because it's what got me to you today. So the hop is going to be live on Instagram as of February 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you're watching this video before that, you'll have to wait to see the whole hop. But if it's after, feel free to hop around and maybe you'll want to join us in one of the hops in the future. All of the information will be posted on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure I'll have it in my description box below. So I pre-colored this adorable image of Edward. He is from the Greeting Farm. This is a very, very old stamp. I don't think he's available anymore. As always, I will link everything that I can in the description box below. I colored him with Copics. I wanted to save some time because I'm really not sure what we're doing with the background yet. And I knew that coloring him would take a little while, and I didn't want to keep you here all day because I know that you've got lots of things to do, like get crafty yourself, right? But I will say, if you want me to show you how I colored him, I can do a separate video on that. So again, he was colored with Copics, and I think he came out great. So we're going to work on our background. Okay, so I pay attention to all the details. And music is very important to Twilight. Edward plays the piano. So I have some sheet music. I thought Dance Macabre was appropriate also. Just funny. So I used some gesso on this already, just lightly. I didn't want to cover it completely because I really wanted the music notes to show. And I have some Distress Oxide spray in Lumberjack, Plaid, and Lost Shadow. I really like using Oxide sprays on gessoed sheet music. I've done it before, and I think it looks great. You don't even have to gesso it, but I kind of wanted that kind of, I don't know, I want to say ghostly kind of look. Like it's kind of here, it's kind of not. You know, we're in the supernatural kind of vibe today. Okay, so because I don't want to get spray on absolutely everything on my desk, I have a box here. Woo, that box is not going to fit so good. Okay, let's see. Maybe we'll try this. Okay, fold down the flaps. Usually I just use a piece of cardboard on my floor and I wipe it up, but figured you guys are going to want to kind of see what I'm doing. Okay. I've got my sheet music going in the box. Let me fix my light a little bit here. That's not going to work. All right. We're going to have to just make it work. All right. So we're going to shake this up. And then we're going to start spraying. You can hear the little balls in there starting to move around. That means things are starting to coalesce together. Okay. That's pretty well shook. All right. I'm going to start with the Lumberjack Plaid, and we're not obviously going to use this whole sheet, but some of it, and I'm not taking much care to where things are going. I love using Lost Shadow with pretty much any color because it just, I don't know, it changes it. It gives you a lighter version of it, a lighter tone without really altering very much. Okay. That's a hot mess right now, but we're going to fix it. We're going to kind of play with it a little bit, create some drips because it's super saturated right now. Look at that. That's nice already. Better. I've also got a stencil. See, I love the drips. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. I like it. Okay, I am going to dry this with my heat tool, and then we'll see how it looks. I love how drippy this is, but I really want some splatter. So now I have Distress Spray Stain also in Lumberjack Plaid. And we're going to just add a little splatter. And I probably should have done this in my splat box too, but I don't plan on getting too overzealous with this. Okay. See? Oh, so yummy. And I could do this for like hours and just keep working on this one sheet, but I'm going to wrap it up. Although, I do think, if I can find it, I feel like we need some sparkle. I will say that that's probably my least favorite fact about the vampires in Twilight is that they sparkle. Even though I am totally somebody that loves glitter and sparkle and shine and all of that, I just don't feel like my vampires should sparkle, but whatever. That's okay. All right, that looks good. I like it. I'm going to dry this and we'll see where we're at. Check that out. I like it. Again, I could wind up playing with this for a lot longer, but I'm not going to because otherwise I'll keep you here all day. I've got this stencil from A Colorful Life Designs. It's called Star Stretch. I don't know, I just thought it was cool. I like, kind of almost reminds me of like DNA helixes, even though it's not. I don't know. That's a whole nother vampire thing, you know, if you think about Carlisle and whatever. So that's just kind of where I was going with that. So this surface is pretty slick now with all of the stuff that we've got on here, and I don't really think that I want to use something translucent on top of it. So I'm going to go with, I have a new container of StazOn pigment in Piano Black. And let's see, we're going to experiment. You know, this is something that I tell you guys all the time, experiment, experiment. So I've got a cosmetic sponge and I might just apply it directly. I don't know. I don't really want it over the whole thing. I just want it kind of here and there. But I want you to be able to see that the stars are more defined here and less defined here. Maybe we'll just tack it like this. So StazOn is kind of like archival ink if you're more familiar with that, but I'm sure that a lot of you have used StazOn before. It works really well on slick surfaces. And I'm using this one because it's a pigment, so it's going to be more opaque than regular StazOn. Let's see how that looks. See, that's kind of cool. I don't mind that. I don't know, we'll see. This is what happens when I do mixed media. I never really have a plan. I start with something and then I do something else. And then I shift gears and that's all good. I don't know, it's okay. It's not exactly what I was kind of hoping for. We'll see. All right, I'm going to close this up. I'm going to clean this off with rubbing alcohol later. Not now. Let's see. I've got this frame that my son made me, and the inside here is 4 by 5 1/4, so that this way I can see exactly what my panel is going to look like, because I usually cut them to 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, actually that's pretty good. You could still see the sheet music here and there. You could do it this way too. I think that that's better. You can see more of the sheet music. And then we'll still have plenty left for other projects. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm okay with that. Okay. We also need to get a heart on here somehow, because I'm going to enter this into the Greeting Farms February challenge, which is, I think it's called Love Story, and you have to have a heart on your project with your stamped or digi Greeting Farm image. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to find a heart, and I've got some sentiments lined up that I think will work too. Some of this is still pretty wet and sticky, and I don't really feel like waiting around for everything to dry. So I'm just going to dump on some clear embossing powder, and wherever it sticks, and wherever it doesn't, and I don't really care. I just want some texture, and I want for everything to be dry. So you could see that it's kind of haphazard all over the place, and I'm good with that. So I'm going to dump this back in. Like I said, this is just a clear, and I'm going to heat set that really quick. My gun is already warmed up from drying the panel before. There we go. So don't be afraid of like sticky bits, because you can just throw some embossing powder and get some really great texture. And it doesn't need to be perfect because we're doing a mixed media thing anyway, so messy is better. I found this fantastic Better Press sentiment set because I remembered that it has things about sparkling and dreaming big and all of that. So I had some of these already done in my sentiment book, my binder, where I keep my spares. I'm thinking Edward's going to go there. It's a little bit pinker than I would have liked. I might still need to do something to fix that. And less bitter, more glitter. I mean, I think that that's totally Edward appropriate. Dream big, sparkle more. And then you were made to dream big, sparkle more. And I don't want them white. We're going to have to do something about that. But there's just, it's too pink right now. Also, I said I needed hearts. So I have these hearts. This die is from one of the new Kelly Bangs and Spellbinders die sets from the Just Sayin collection. Again, everything is going to be linked below. And I think we're going to use this one because it's kind of wonky. This one's like a perfect heart, and I don't really want a perfect heart. I think we're going to go with that one. So I've got those over there, and we need to bring more red into this. So I have Lumberjack Plaid Distress ink now. That's better. Now, remember, this is sheet music, so it's like, what's the word? Thin? That's the word. So I don't want to tear it, although that could work too in this case. Just darkening it. And it doesn't need to be perfect and even and all of that. And yes, where the embossing powder is, it's going to resist, so we'll wipe that away. But it's just a little too pink for me right now. That's better. I think that's better. So, how did I get started with blogging in reference to Twilight? I'm sure you're wondering. I'm going to tell you. So, I had a scrapbooking and stamp store. And I had decided that I was going to run a contest to promote Twilight because I had just started reading it and, you know, I was really into it at the time, and I just thought it would be fun to bring some customers in and have them make a Twilight themed scrapbook page. So a few people entered, and one woman, her name was Marcy, she came in and she said, you know, she entered, she said, do you ever blog? I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know what that was. She's like, do you ever blog? And I really wasn't sure what she was referencing. So she told me about it. And she's like, I'm on this design team called Twilight Tuesday. And we do challenges every week. And it's all about Twilight. I'm like, oh, I'm in. So she gave me the basics. And I joined their design team. We're going to go with this one. And that was how it started. So every week for a couple of years, we had a different Twilight challenge. And then we started bringing in other things like Black Dagger Brotherhood and whatever. But, you know, it was like, use an apple on your card or do something with the lion and the lamb, you know, things like that. And it was so much fun. And I met so many people, all online. And I had the best time. And then it expanded to other design teams and guest spots and all of this stuff. And I'm still friends with some of those gals today. And it's all because I had this Twilight contest in my store so many years ago. And I never looked back. It was just such an eye-opening thing. Yeah, all because of Twilight. Isn't that exciting? It's exciting to me. I'm adding some black here just to kind of grungy it up a little bit. I'm thinking that if I were to do this again, I would probably start with Distress Spray Stain instead of the Oxide spray because, again, it's still reading kind of pinky, but we're going to go with it. It's all right. I like that. I feel like we need another layer of something though, like, I don't know, vellum to soften this a bit. Okay, here's some vellum. And I'm going to tear it. And now we're going to wrinkle it, because why not? Let's see. Maybe that's what we needed. I really think that this is the perfect sentiment for Edward. I really do. Okay. Ugh. This is a thick vellum, so it doesn't really like to crinkle. Sorry about the ASMR if that's not your jam. It's not really my jam unless it's Bob Ross, but okay. Oh, that's cool. It's hiding a lot of what we did though. So we're going to remove some of it. That's better. I think I like it. I think I do. See, this is what happens. I start like just standing here thinking for 20 minutes, and I don't want to keep you that long. So I'm going to stand here and think while not filming. I stapled the vellum on because really that's the easiest way for me to do it, especially when it's so crinkly. And vellum adhesive is garbage most of the time. So if you staple it on, that means that the adhesive that you're using, or the way that you're adhering it, because it's not adhesive, is meant to show. And that's just better. Okay, so we're going to really grunge this up. I know that he's so clean cut here, and I don't think that he'd ever wear red, but we're going with it. We're going with it. Oh, look at that. See? Experimenting, and you don't know where it's going to take you. I did not think I was going to be using crinkled vellum today, but here we are. Okay. Edward, super clean cut. We've got our heart here that I can't pick up. Less bitter, more glitter. I think that that's great. I think that that's something that Bella would say to him. I do. Okay, I've got some foam tape, and we're only going to put the foam tape on part of the sentiment because the rest of it's popped up with the vellum. This is 3mm foam tape from scrapbook.com. I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to add, if I can find my glue, a little bit of Barely Arts glue. On top of that, so that that sticks to the vellum. Yeah. Okay. Block. And I need my heart to get glued down. And we're going to be putting this on a black card base. So if you're going to mail this to someone, or give it to someone, I should say, you'll want to either put a white panel inside for where you can write, or use something that writes on black cardstock, like a gel pen or an acrylic paint pen, something like that. I probably wouldn't use an acrylic paint pen that you have to shake like a, what is that? Posca. It's probably a little overkill, but like a jelly roll or something like that. Okay. That's going to go there. So please make sure that you hop along on Instagram later today if you're watching on Friday the 21st, and if you're watching after that, you can check it out at any time. This is so fun. Oh, I like it. Yep, that's working for me. Okay, I'm gonna let him sit for a second, glue it down, and we'll see where we're at. Okay, friends, here is our finished card. I think it's really fun. It is totally appropriate for Twilight. Did you guys know that the books are getting re-released for the 20th anniversary? So excited. Anyway. Fandom Friday, where we let our freak flag fly, which is very hard to say. I hope you'll join us. Be sure to check out my description box below for more information on all the things that I used and some info about the hop. I will be back real soon with another video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Be well, stay safe. Peace out.